Steambox, multi-monitor advantage, some game giveaways, and more. This is WSGF News. I'm Simon, the Destroyer.
I'm Chris, Peanut.
And this is WSGF News.
Welcome back.
Just so everyone knows, right now we're playing Titanfall. That dropped today, right? Or this week?
This week. I have to be honest, I got it early because I did a...
I don't know if I can say that. Beep! Like that.
Leave it out.
Because he stayed up late, kids.
Yeah.
Let's see. But good game? Is there any difference than before?
The widescreen, the multi-mon stuff is still there.
Okay.
No HUD. Initially when I loaded it up, it was crashing. SLI wasn't even working. But NVIDIA actually released their driver, I think the day before it launched, cleaned up a lot of those issues, at least for me personally. I'm not sure about ATI or AMD. But no, it runs great, good frame rates. The only issue I can see is the HUD. And hopefully, I saw some WSGF members, go y'all, they posted on the
forum?
On the forums,
right.
And got some awareness, so maybe that'll come to fruition or not. I don't know.
Hopefully I'll pick it up. I'll try and pick it up soon.
Yeah.
I'll try.
You have
I will play this. If anything, it'll be tonight I'll play this.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking last time about the Steambox. So
right.
Go off on some more about that.
So, yeah, I just wanted to touch real quick on that. If you guys watched our last episode, we talked about the Steambox briefly and how well it streams and things like that. The update I wanted to go on was that, I played it a little bit more, 1080p, of course, tried some more games, and I actually got more than just Steam games working. I actually, as a matter of fact, you can add Origin games like Titanfall to, in Steam you can add as a non-Steam game, right? And it's actually pretty cool. You can add it as a non-Steam game and then basically stream it the same as you would a regular Steam game. It's kind of cool because if you add Origin to the menus, you'll get and I just died here. You'll get the Origin menu streamed, so you can actually pick your games from your Steambox and then actually stream them. Now, in addition to that, for example, Titanfall, I couldn't actually get Titanfall to work from the launcher because, for whatever reason, Steam hooks into whatever it's focusing on, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But I manually added Titanfall EXE and left my Origin running, and I actually was able to play Titanfall with the controller through the Steambox, and it worked. So I think Valve's strategy is to kind of not only allow their games, but
others as well.
Third party. I think that's the idea, right? So to me, that was big news because that means not only Steam games will work, but
everything else.
Everything else. Origin, hopefully everything else in the future, right? So, anyways, that was just an update, and I'll, I said last time I'd have a video, but I'll have another video.
All right, well, we'll get it eventually. It's it's not one of those things you just one and done. You got to take some time on it.
Yeah.
So going on with that Steambox Linux sort of idea, Crytek just announced recently that the CryEngine is going to be Linux compatible or be put on Linux.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up the article right now, and of course it doesn't want to load. But that's just another big name on Linux. I'm a Linux guy. I've always been a Linux. Well, not always been a Linux guy. I was forced to be a Linux guy, and
thrown to the wolves.
Thrown into the wolves. But I think it's good for not only just Linux gaming in general, but for the Steam, for the Steambox as well.
I think it's good for
more games that are going to be compatible with the Steambox natively instead of having to stream.
Yeah,
I think that's the idea. As at least I hope the idea is to have a one box to rule them all, not have to worry about booting into your Windows machine or anything like that. So hopefully with Crytek doing it, with the CryEngine, that's going to lead more people.
To me, what that says is that's just another heavy hitter in the game. You know, we've got Steam, we've got this third-party streaming that sort of kind of works. Now we've got Crytek in the game for Linux and streaming. That, you know, that means not necessarily only streaming, but it means Linux gaming. And that's just another player in this. And I think the more heavy hitter companies that get behind this, I think the better we're going to see. You know, I think Valve has already stated that they're trying to get away from Microsoft, right? And this is just one piece of the puzzle. And the more heavy hitters we get, the better this is going to be for the gaming community in general, I think. You know, who knows, maybe even better for the multi-monitor community, because we can get some of the, you know, if we can get the Linux guys involved, we can really make a difference, maybe with getting fixes and things like that. I mean, because Linux is so much more customizable than Windows. I don't have any facts based on that, but that's just
and hopefully with this too, and this is my big thing, is we'll get some better Linux drivers from our graphics card people. Specifically, one company.
That's another thing. Yeah. That's yet another piece of the puzzle, right?
And hopefully, eventually, it leads over to multi-monitor support on Linux.
Yeah.
Not pointing any fingers or anything. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
He's bitter.
Just a little. So if you check out the forums lately, you would have saw that Skid posted a video. It's actually his second video he's done on this subject.
Yep.
About does multi-monitor give you an advantage? His, I guess, synopsis, or the synopsis of the video is he doesn't believe that multi-monitor gives you an extreme advantage, especially in competitive situations.
Right.
He talks about the tunnel vision, and I guess I can go on a little bit of that. You think about that tunnel vision, you're focused on something, specifically on your front monitor. You're not going to really see anything on your peripherals. An experiment you can do is you grab a buddy, you look straight forward in a wall and have your buddy figure out, first of all, where your edge of the peripheral is. Just have them wiggle their fingers until you can't see the wiggle anymore.
Yep.
And then have them just hold up a number of fingers and see if you can tell them how many fingers they're holding up.
Yeah, because isn't the field of vision that you can actually focus on something like 20 or 30 degrees?
Something like that.
Something really small.
So you can't really focus on something that's going on right there when you're looking at that.
Sure.
Just because you have 3 screens doesn't mean you're going to be able to comprehend everything. So I used to competitive a little bit. I've told you about this.
Right.
Back around the Half-Life 1 days, NS Natural Selection 1, I did a little, it was a Cal, Cyber Amateur League is what it was.
I remember Cal.
And Cal. Cal was great, man. I can go reminisce forever. Anyway. When you're competitive, and I did it on a single screen. Back then, you didn't have multi-monitor screen for Half-Life 1. So you had to do it on a single screen. And when you're in that situation on a single screen, you're not just sitting there looking at one object and not moving around. You have to move around and constantly looking at what's going on around you. If you don't, you're going to lose.
You're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, stop competing if you're not going around like that, because you're not aware of your situations. So you're automatically in a competitive situation. You're going to be moving around, moving your mouse around. In a multi-monitor situation, you're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You just have more you can look around. Now, with multi-monitor, what you can be doing is you're looking that way and looking that way. But now, I see somebody, now I have to react on it. Rather than when you're moving around naturally, you're already in the flow of things. Oh, he's over there, I'm already over there.
Yeah.
It's a flow thing.
And I think also having multi-mon is you process so much more information.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if you're playing on a single screen, yes, you may not catch the guy, but the guy might be off screen and he can just shoot you, whereas multi-mon, you'd see him. But at the same time, if you are moving around more on a single screen, looking around like you're supposed to be doing, and you're beated on the guy, you've already got him. Whereas on multi-mon, you've got to still do the reaction turning, which pretty much means you're dead, right?
Yeah.
It's a valid point.
There's no gray. There's no black or white to it. It's all gray. It is all gray.
And honestly, my personal take is it's almost the same as surround sound. I mean, back in the day, sound was very basic, or gaming sound on PCs was very basic, and I mean, it's almost like, if I pay the extra money for a good set of headphones or a good sound card, and it lets me hear, behind me, and I can hear a guy that's coming up behind me or in the room next to me, is that an advantage? Mm-hmm. Where do we draw the line? Do we all have to use the same computer with the same processor and the same memory? If I get a higher frame rate than you, I'm at an advantage.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's just where do you draw the line of an advantage? Now, if it's super competitive, the highest level of gaming, it makes sense to have everyone play with the same computer.
And a lot of those leagues do that. When
right.
The top tier of everything, they supply everything for you.
So
there is that situation. But multi-monitor isn't like pay to win. I guess is that.
No, absolutely not.
It's not pay to win.
I don't think it's that
buying 3 screens isn't magic dust.
Yeah,
makes it happen.
If those of you who think about going multi-mon, if you go multi-mon, it's not a guaranteed. Oh, my score is just gonna go through the roof.
It's going up.
Yeah, it's just more immersion. It makes your games funner. That's about and it makes your wallet cry.
And,
so
not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. The gaming ends up wanting to be about immersion. Immersing yourself into the situation. Pulling yourself away from your reality into a new one.
Yeah, and I think with the Oculus Rift and things like that, that's eventually where gaming's headed, is immersion. That's going to be the most important
you bring
thing.
that up. I mean, where do we draw a line? You think in Team Fortress 2, any of y'all who haven't seen or messed with the Oculus Rift, what you can do in that game is you can look one direction, be shooting one direction, and you can look over there. So should we be allowing that? Should we be funding or buying that sort of technology when, you can be doing something over here and comprehending what's over there? What's the difference between that and multi-monitor?
Yeah, again, it's just another line that you're drawing saying, well, this is acceptable, but this is not. I mean,
in PC gaming, you have to expect customization.
Sure.
Uniqueness, and everything's going to be unique. So, speaking of virtual reality and 3D headsets, this week it was announced, or it was speculated, that Sony next week will be releasing or showing off what they're going to have for the PS4, a virtual reality headset for the PS4.
Yep.
Which will be interesting. They're calling it something better than the Crystal Cove.
Yeah, they're saying it's even better than that, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of exciting news, the fact that Crystal Cove was 1080p screens on each eye. So it's going to be higher resolution than that.
That's what they're claiming. And this is all speculation.
Right.
I mean, we don't even know if it's going to be just strictly for the PlayStation 4 or if it's going to be PlayStation 4, maybe even a peripheral for the PC.
Right. I mean, it would be really awesome if it worked for both PC and PlayStation, or they could get it working on PC. But I'm pretty excited about just the fact of 1080p screens, because when I use the Rift, when Skip gave me the demo Rift, or I guess I don't know what you call it,
like the DK1,
the dev kit. Yeah, the first edition. It was very low. I mean, it was great, but it was still very low res. And you can definitely tell it breaks the immersion when you have such a low resolution on the screen. So
it's still an amazing experience. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
But 1080p, I mean, to me is just, that's mind-blowingly better. It's got to be way more immersive. And if this is a notch above that, I mean, I don't know what to think. I mean,
it'll keep your eyes out, ears out for next week, any sort of releases from Sony, to see what happens with their thing. Speaking of the Oculus Rift, and talking more speculation, I feel like we're going to become a gossip site now. It was a Game Industry International, Palmer Luckey, the head honcho over at Oculus, where they make the Oculus Rift. He was interviewed, and they're talking about the consumer model of the Oculus Rift, to come out in the later future. And you don't want to be too speculative, but he's saying something about what people on Reddit and the internet are talking about, possibly higher resolution for each eye being bigger than 1080p. So let me read just the quote for you real quick. It's going to be better, quite a bit better, but Crystal Cove does have most of the main components, like he said. It has a low persistence display. It has full 6 degrees of freedom tracking. Those are the really two key things. Other things like resolution, the weight and size and tracking quality, the lenses, those are going to improve. But Crystal Cove has all the major pieces. So the little thing that everyone's focusing on is where he says, first of all, it has the two key things, and he talks about the two key things being low persistence display and the 6 degrees of freedom tracking.
Yeah.
And he's saying things like the resolution, the eye cups, and everything else are going to improve. So he's saying the resolution, which is already two 1080p screens on each of the eyes, are going to be better than that.
And that's a big deal. I mean, the demo version that I had from Skip was low res, and it was already pretty amazing. Now I can imagine at 1080p it's even
I haven't gotten to touch the Crystal Cove.
Yeah, me neither. But if it's higher than 1080p, if we're just going based off of rumor, hearsay, kind of suggestive comment that was made, if it's going to be higher resolution than 1080p, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe it'll be bigger so that way the individual cup size shows 1080p, because you do lose information on the edges. Yeah. So maybe that's why they're going higher.
Or pixels per square inch. They're trying to get higher PPI because you're so close to the screen.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of things we could be dealing with here.
Definitely. I think that one of the big things when you talk about immersion is audio. For me personally, to have really, really good immersion is high quality audio, so good set of headphones. And now we're getting to the point where we're getting ridiculous video immersion. Triple screens already gives you that immersion, but stuff like the Oculus that's even on another level.
Yeah.
That's a whole movement. Plus you're talking about your whole vision is the game, not just 3 screens, but I still got stuff, and if I move my head out, I'm not in the game. It's exciting news.
If you're interested with seeing how the Oculus Rift works, for these past couple weeks, and I think I'll have it for a couple more weeks, I've been back with the first developer kit that the WSGF has, and just catch me on stream sometime and just watch me play a game. Was it Strike Suit Zero with the Oculus Rift?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! You can sit there, you're flying, and you can look up and track a ship go by. It's so ridiculous, and even with those low resolution screens, it's just like I feel like I'm there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't. My mind just can't imagine how much better this thing is gonna get.
Yeah, I really want to get hold of the Crystal Cove somehow.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see about that. So as of now, we're recording. There was a record attempt for the biggest space battle in online, or biggest multiplayer space battle by the game. It was an Age of Ascent. For those of you who don't know, Age of Ascent is an upcoming video game. It's a space fighter video game. It's described as, quote, a space-based MMO on a truly epic scale. It was announced in February, the end of February, and actually today was the public alpha test of the PvP. And so what they would try to do is to test the servers and see if they could break the Guinness Book of World Records for largest space battle. Now, Delphim posted about this either earlier today or late last night to see if people could get up on it. And
it's pretty exciting. From what I understand, they didn't break the record.
No, they were.
But it still
shy.
was. It was close, and also I think it got a lot of awareness about the game and what it's going to be, which is pretty. That's pretty cool that many community members kind of banded together
on a game that's not even finished yet. Not even out yet.
Yeah,
it's still an alpha.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Just think back on this. I can only imagine what the number they need for the largest PvP online fight. Because you think back a month or so ago, it was that big thing in EVE. I don't know if you pay attention to EVE.
I do remember, and there was lots of people lost real life money due to the ships,
or equivalency of real life money. Of real life money. Everyone got called in for that big battle, and So I can only imagine what is needed, and it'd be interesting to find out that information.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting that something can be that big. I used to play. The only MMO I've ever played was WoW. So, I know the kind of how crazy it can get, but it's still pretty exciting that something that big is taking place on the internet.
It's a video game, too.
And a video game, right.
We're legitimizing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We're going to check out the top 5 battle stations posted this week on Reddit's subreddit, our Battlestations.
Yep, my favorite place to go look.
Oh yeah, it's eye candy, definitely. So these are posts by people done on Reddit that we're checking out, not done on the WSGF. We're checking out Reddit and checking out these nice works of art. These are works of art. Beautiful. So this first one, let's go backwards from 5 to 1. So we're gonna start with Lazy Boy. This is called Lazy Boy plus casters equals lazy programming. So I assume they're
I like that.
They're game casters, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And that looks like a comfortable way to sit.
It looks, at first glance, it looks really cluttered. But then, after you look at it, there's actually some elegant. He's got the monitors on the books there. But he's got the Lazy Boy recliner with a nice little red, I guess that's a red board to hold his keyboard and mouse up. But it looks very comfortable. You can just kind of lean back and game away. You can probably fall asleep in that thing.
It's a lot of ingenuity on this one. You check out his the top part. It's got the deflectors for the light.
Yeah, I do like that.
That's real creative. That's real creative. So that's number 5.
Number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Found this week. It's titled "Found this subreddit today. Thought I'd post my setup at work. Oops gig."
Now this is a battle station, if I have to say so.
Man,
looks like he's
day trader.
That looks like graphs
IT.
or it could be like seismic stuff, maybe geology. I don't know. I didn't read the comments. It'll probably tell us in the comments. But
he's got an orca on his thing. I'll read the comments while you look at it.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of I don't know, geological or maybe some kind of aquatic thing. I'm not sure.
Architectural design.
Architectural design. Okay.
That makes sense.
So he's got 4 monitors in landscape. Or sorry, is that landscape? And then he's got are those just big TVs?
Yeah.
They're just 2 large TVs with 3x3 graphs on them, and then it looks like a MacBook. Either way, very expensive setup. Looks really cool. I don't know if it's for games.
Probably not, but it happens, especially with subreddit.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, he's not going to run out of real estate on his desktop.
Definitely not.
Number 3.
Number 3. All right.
It's titled "My First Build in 10 Years, Crimson Typhoon."
I like the name.
And with the eye and the sticky out tongue face.
Very cool.
A lot of red.
A lot of red. You must like red and black, which is very nice. Cable management, perfect.
If it's one thing that gets me on machines, on rigs, it's cable management.
Oh, yeah.
I love cable management.
They have a whole subreddit for that too, actually.
Oh, yeah. I think it's our cable management?
Something like
that.
Yeah.
But that's real pretty. He's got the one of those Republic of Gamers boards.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
And so it has that red accent. So he's accenting with the red and the black.
And he's got the Corsair Vengeance RAM, which is black and red, and then he got red cables.
So the Corsair case, I forget what number it case.
He's even looks like he's got a red backlit keyboard, which is even very nice touch.
I think I have that keyboard.
So we'll go to number 2.
Number 2, dorm room.
Dorm room. And this one, it looks like I like the Scarface poster. If you haven't seen Scarface, you need to go see Scarface. Scarface with Al Pacino is actually a remake. I don't know if you know that. No,
I'm a movie guy. I don't like remakes. It's a really good remake. They changed the story a bit. But anyway, if you haven't seen Scarface, go see Scarface.
Absolutely. I really like in this one. I like the 2 screens, and I don't even see a stand. Is this wall mounted? I mean, There might be I see a small on the right hand side, like a Y bracket. Maybe that's what it is. But I like the speakers. Do you see the speakers? They're kind of like industrial looking. They look like little.
Okay, it's just the core.
Yeah, it looks like the core of the speaker, but you can actually tell it's a little bit more than that. His case is all white, very clean. It's got the white and black theme going with the little red trim.
Red accent, yeah.
Yeah, very very nice MMO gaming mouse. I don't know. All in all,
It's a nice,
very nice setup.
All right, now was it the piece de la resistance?
Yes, number one.
Number one, small updates to the man cave / home theater.
Wow, if you own this man cave, please let me come visit it.
I'm up for adoption. I mean, I would love to, just sit here and chill out. And he's got Avatar. I still haven't seen Avatar. I need to watch Avatar.
And you can already tell just in this picture, it looks ridiculous. I can only imagine what it looks like, actually sitting there. Yes, totally.
Man, life's tough.
Yeah, I'm sure I wonder if that's probably not a projector. That looks like it's just a big TV.
Yeah, that's a nice massive TV.
Couch setup, and I like the guitars. Overall, very cool setup.
It's a very intimate, like theaters type setup.
Yes, and this is stuff that I can shoot for one day when I'm a millionaire.
Long ago. I forgot to buy my lottery ticket.
Darn it.
Oh well, maybe next week. No one win it.
All right, that was our top 5, guys. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit again and talk about our giveaway.
So this week we've planned on giving out a giveaway. I guess that's what you do with a giveaway. You give a giveaway.
No, you take.
You take a giveaway? Yeah. Okay, yeah. You would take, we give. That's how it works.
Yeah.
If you remember last week, we were talking and playing South Park Stick of Truth. And so we decided to give away South Park Stick of Truth.
Stick of Truth.
So the way we're going to do this, we have about a week. We record on Friday, so you have by next Friday to post a comment on the YouTube for this video. Mm-hmm. And the highest upvoted or upclicked, there's like the thumbs up, a thumbs down. Highest rated comment on YouTube will win Stick of Truth.
Free copy of Stick of Truth.
We'll message you on the YouTube, and we'll get your information, whoever wins. But we'll announce it here next week, for this week. And we'll send you a Stick of Truth. And
you can enjoy all the dirty humor that Cartman brings.
Oh, that's true.
Even in a video game.
It's great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's this week's episode for WSGF News. Yep. Once again, I'm Simon, also known as The Destroyer on the WSGF.
I'm Chris, also known as Peanut.
Be sure to check us out on our Twitters. Mine's at The Destroyer, FTW.
Mine's at Computer Lasco.
Go ahead, check out the website, of course, WSGF.org. And check us out on our IRC. It's irc.wsgf.org. Pound or hashtag WSGF is the main channel. Check us out. Come by. Say hi. Of course, our YouTube is youtube.com/WSGF.
Yep.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
We'll leave all the comments or the links down in the description of the video. So if you don't know where to find us, you can go there as well. See you next week, guys.
So this week on Simon Says, it's more of a kind of a questionnaire for everyone. Simon says, I would like to know who's going to QuakeCon this year. I'm still deciding if I want to go to QuakeCon or not. So I'm going to give you till Wednesday to somehow message, whether it's on the Twitter or on the YouTube, if you're going to QuakeCon or not. That's going to help me decide if I'm going to go to QuakeCon or not. And because I'm going to buy, I think tickets are sold on Wednesday. So you have till Wednesday to somehow get in contact with me, whether it's the Twitter at WSGF, my Twitter at The Destroyer, FTW, or on this YouTube page in the comment description below, if you're going to QuakeCon. So if you're going to QuakeCon, and then we can meet up, we can have fun, and we can frag each other. So, are you going to QuakeCon? Simon says he wants to know.